Hello and welcome to Traditional Painting the Digital Way. This is where I use digital painting apps to teach traditional painting techniques. In this video, we're going to be doing a Halloween doll. And since Halloween is just right around the corner, I wanted to do a little portrait of one of my Halloween collectibles. So the app that we're going to be using is Infinite Painter for Android, and I'm going to be using acrylic techniques. So here are some of the brushes that I would use if I were painting with acrylics. I've got some flat wash brushes and some bristle brushes and some rounds and script liner brushes. The canvas that I would use would either be canvas board or stretched canvas with really thick sides so that I could paint on the edges and not have to frame it. And then here are the colors that I use, and I mostly use Grumbacher Academy paint. Liquitex paint also will work, and any kind of acrylic, whatever kind that you want. But just be advised that sometimes the color names are different with different acrylic paint brands. So I wanted to start out with a little rough sketch, and make sure that you keep it on the bottom layer and the separate layer. And this doll that I got is one of the Halloween collection dolls from babeside.com. And they have actually several different ones. I think they still have this one. She's the one with a spider web on her forehead and vampire fangs. And the clothes I got from Babeside too. She doesn't come with cowgirl clothes, but this is what I wanted. I wanted it to be a cowgirl vampire theme, just for funsies, because I just thought that would be a fun little thing. Like it's a little girl, a little cowgirl dressed up as a vampire, or maybe she's not dressed up as a vampire. You never know. So, and then I also got this little pumpkin doll for her, and a hat to put on him. I think I got the pumpkin doll from Temu.com, and also the hat. I think it's a hat that you can get for your dogs or cats. Good luck getting your cat to wear it, but I think it's for dogs. Anyway, I thought it would be really cute for her to have a little bit of a instead of a teddy bear, just a regular teddy bear, a little Halloween doll. So I got that little pumpkin doll for her. And also I found the shoes, I think, on Temu.com. I wanted some boots, but these are real soft boots with a Halloween theme. So I just went ahead and ordered those for her. And I also have another collectible doll that has ghosts on her face. And I've got her in like a little Western dress, but I haven't tried to paint her yet. So anyway, I wanted to go ahead and put her up against a fallish background. So I found a background on Pixabay and just kind of superimposed the doll in the front there, and so that it makes it look like she's sitting on an old wooden porch and that there's fall trees in the background. And so I wanted to go ahead and kind of give that foggy, indistinct look in the background. So I started a new layer after I got through with the sketch and sketched in the things that I wanted with a little bit more detail. And I'm trying to kind of make it look like there's distant trees in the background and smudging a lot of stuff. And also I'm trying to make the tree trunks look a little bit foggy and misty in the background. I just kind of want a little bit of a background for her, so that it reads autumn and fall and October and Halloween vibes and all that stuff. So I'm adding a little bit of some purple there in the background, some oranges like cadmium orange, if you're following along with traditional paints, yellow ochre, cadmium yellow light, and use some dioxazine purple to try to do the shadows and the trees. And I've got it on a separate layer so that it doesn't destroy my sketch, because you want to be able to see your sketch and not have to do the whole thing over again. And if you're following along traditionally, you can do carbon paper, use carbon copy paper, and put it on the canvas. You can draw the doll out on another piece of paper and then just put it using carbon copy paper on the canvas. Trace it on there. And so I'm just kind of working on the porch and trying to get a 1-point perspective going there, so that the doll is the focus of the painting, and also that it gives a little depth, because I think that it wouldn't look very good if I just made it where all the lines were just straight running off the canvas. That doesn't give it much depth. That tends to flatten it out. So I wanted to go ahead and kind of draw the boards in 1-point perspective, and so I sort of struggled with that, trying to get just exactly how I wanted them to look. I want them to be not great big boards, but kind of, you know, a decent size, because it's a doll, and so we want to show that it's kind of small. Although I think this doll is 24 inches maybe, or 25. It's a good sized doll, but and you can, it's the body is soft, and the arms and the legs and the face are vinyl, and they're not real hard vinyl, but they're what we used to call a rubber dolly. But anyway, so that's what she's made of, and I just wanted to go ahead and try to get that perspective right on the boards by her. And I'm using some of the perspective tools in Infinite Painter. They have 1.2, 2.3, I think, in Infinite Painter that you can use as guides. And if you're following along traditionally, you would find a end point, the center point there, and use a ruler or a T-square or something and line it up that way if you're doing this traditionally. And make sure that you've got the end point the same when you draw each line with your ruler. And the same way here, keep it in the same position when you're using Infinite Painter. And so I'm using kind of a grayish color. You could use ultramarine blue if you're following along traditionally, and throw in a little bit of burnt sienna and some white acrylic gesso, and that will give you kind of a grayish brown color, which is what we want. We want a weathered wood look for the old porch. And then here I'm just trying to kind of give it that weathered wood look and keep the lines in the 1-point perspective that I want. And I'm using the smudge brush because I don't want the lines between the boards to look real sharp and new. We want to kind of them to look a little bit blurry and things, because they're old. So we want to try to still show them, but kind of give it a not so sharp of an edge. So that's what I'm working with there. Still struggling a little to try to get the 1-point perspective the way I want it, and working a little bit more on the background. And I was using several different brushes to try to get some of the look of leaves and things in the background. And there's some in the watercolor category that look kind of like leaves, and you can actually, I guess, go make your own stamp brushes, but and stamp brushes are made by finding an image and then importing it into the brush in Infinite Painter, which you can do, and then saving it, and you have your own brush, and you can take a leaf if you want to and do that, but it kind of gives a uniform look that I don't exactly want, because things in nature are not that uniform. So you want to kind of make things look a little bit different. Everything is kind of different. You don't want them to be all the same. So this is the end of part 1 in my Halloween doll series. And in part 2, we're going to work some more on the background and start working on the doll and trying to get some of that going. So if you want to see that, hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for your support, and I will catch you later.